The Green River, located in southeast Utah just north of the Grand Canyon, provides the whitewater experience that's just right for the novice or beginning rafter of any age. Perhaps one of the least well-known rivers in this area, the Green River is nevertheless proving to be an increasingly popular expedition. Vast, placid stretches along the river course, naturally inlaid with white sandy camping beaches, provide the traveler a welcome change of pace. It's a chance to relax and just enjoy the view. Or stretch your legs in a short hike to a Native American petroglyph site. Or enjoy some authentic Western cooking. Some travelers opt for a 2-day visit to historic Tavaputs Ranch, which is also part of Western River Expedition's Green River package. It's a taste of true frontier life, but not lacking in modern amenities. The outside world seems just a bit farther away while relaxing at the ranch. Located on the Tavaputs Plateau, about 9,100 feet above sea level, the ranch encompasses some 15,000 acres of magnificent scenery and natural wildlife that makes most people wish they'd brought more film. A scenic flight from Grand Junction, Colorado, brings guests to the ranch, where they're greeted by Don Wilcox, 4th-generation owner and operator of the ranch. Don's always willing to share a bit of the exciting history surrounding the Tavaputs Plateau.
Now, this is the first cabin that was built on the West Tavaputs Plateau. It was built by a boy they had watching the trail to keep the cattle from going down too early in the fall. He drug these logs in with his lariat dallied up to the saddle horn. Never had a door. He had to crawl under the bottom log, and he shingled the roof with these flat rocks. I guess the old cowboys are really resourceful.
And visitors to the ranch today have the opportunity to explore the canyons and trails made famous by outlaws like Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, who took advantage of the inaccessibility of the plateau while dodging pursuing lawmen in the late 1800s.
It became famous after, with the outlaws, after the trail was built into it by McPherson. Sundance, Butch Cassidy, George Curry, Harvey Logan, and a lot of other cattle rustlers.
After a hearty dinner back at the ranch, there's a chance to relax and swap stories with fellow travelers, or play a little music. But uppermost in everyone's mind is the whitewater adventure soon to come.
How's the river going to be today?
The river's going to be great. June's a great time to hit Desolation Canyon because there's a lot of water. Those rapids are going to be good.
June, July are the best months?
Probably June. June's when the runoff's coming, so it'll be the highest. July's nice, too.
Oh, great.
After breakfast, the guests are flown to the waiting bus. The put-in procedure is described by head river guide and bus driver, Lori Deemer.
When they get down to the boats, we have them pack their personal gear in the river bags, which keeps them dry during the whole trip. And we have the life jackets fit to their own personal size. We hop on the boats, and we raft together and have a brief orientation as we're floating down the river on the first day. Orientation about what goes on in camp and how the kitchen is set up and the tent demonstrations and all.
River guide David Sumner enjoys sharing his historical knowledge of the Green River and its colorful past.
John Wesley Powell came down here in 1869, and he brought a big crew, and they basically were coming down the river in wooden boats, and they were coming down to map the Green River and explore it. And it's interesting that they could make this trip in such primitive equipment, and they actually had quite a rough time.
Today, the Green River is known as a premier rafting experience. Guests traveling upon this major tributary of the mighty Colorado find opportunities that more than test their sense of adventure. Four days of rafting will bring the power and majesty of the Green River experience to most travelers. And during July and August, an additional day is added, taking advantage of the longer summer days. The rapids are a personal experience for each guest, secure in the knowledge that their experienced and licensed guide, outfitted with only the finest whitewater equipment, is deftly maneuvering their craft through such drops as Coal Creek, Wire Fence, and Surprise. Whitewater isn't the only attraction on this river trip. The Green also provides a chance for the traveler to savor their wilderness relaxation. And you never know what might be found along one of the sandy camping beaches. It's a chance on shore for fun and exploration.
A lot of people like to take hikes while we're cooking dinner, explore the canyons a little bit. And just generally, we see a lot of people just looking up at the walls and the blue sky and watching the sunset while we're cooking dinner and preparing the meal.
There's always a chance for some homegrown entertainment before turning in for a good night's rest under the stars.
With the red flash of neon, like a memory from Saigon.
But the desert dawn comes early on the Green River, and then it's time for
breakfast!
And since folks need a lot of energy, it's a hearty one.
Breakfasts are pretty large because we have a heavy day of rowing and rafting and sightseeing ahead. We have Eggs Benedict on the first morning. That's complete with a béarnaise sauce and fresh cantaloupe.
After breakfast, the flotilla again embarks on its downstream trek. The Green River isn't just whitewater and camping. The earliest inhabitants who occupied this lifeline through the desert have left an exciting permanent record carved right into the canyon stone. These 900-year-old petroglyphs are just a hike away from the river, and through them, visitors can stand face to face with the religious artifacts of a pre-Columbian era. Farther along the trail, ancient grain storehouses called granaries bear mute testimony of prudent reserves in times of famine or enemy attack. More recent history is also explored.
This is Ben Morrison's cabin. He lived here in the early 1900s, left here around the 1940s, and he was quite the hermit. You can tell by the way where he lived. And inside you can see his bed and his cloak, his stove that he used, and around the corner you can see remnants of his still.
There's a lot to see and a lot to get excited about on the Green River. Even when the journey's done and the guides are repacking the equipment, there's always time for just one more picture. And the graduation ceremony proves that great friendships are always possible through the shared experience of rafting the Green River.
If you're interested in rafting the big water of the Colorado, the 15-minute Cataract Canyon video will give you an exciting glimpse into what the trip offers. For the rafting adventure of a lifetime, the Western River video on the Grand Canyon brings you into the heart of America's greatest national park, combining whitewater excitement in an unequaled setting. For more information, please call 1-800-453-7450 and be sure to ask for Western River's free 32-page catalog on the best rafting vacations in the West.